If you've ever wondered why sales and marketing are not working for you, or if you wondered, how do I put all these things together? How do I actually get people interested in my products and services and then turn them into paying customers? This video is for you. I'm going to go through what I call the sales and marketing map, which is something that I've developed over many years in order to show people how sales and marketing can work together and how to systematize it to bring more customers, more clients in the door. So let's jump right in. I'm going to go to my screen. Now you're going to see a diagram here before we start, and I don't want you to get intimidated at the beginning. I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works, and by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how implementing this in your sales and marketing system will actually result in a compounding effect so that you're going to get more and more customers over time, and you're going to get better and better at converting people who don't know you into people who are familiar with your products and services, and then into paying customers. So let me jump right in, and we're going to go to the screen. So what we have here is my overall map of how I help businesses grow, and there are four main areas: people and process, product, profit, and promotion. And today we are dealing with the promotion side. So we're going to go right in here, and we're going to jump into the promotion side. Now, as you can see here, we've got this flow chart diagram, and it goes from the top with arrows down to the bottom. And I'm going to walk you through each piece of this, what it means, why you need to be paying attention to it, and how to think about it. And by the end, you're going to understand how all the pieces work together. So first, we're going to start with positioning, packaging, and pricing at the top. This is about your ideal client. Now, if you don't know your ideal client, that is the first thing that you really need to focus on, because if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're going to get the attention of nobody. People like to hear a specific problem that they have, or them called out as a person, a certain type of person, a certain type of problem. And when you're speaking to that, you're going to get much more effective marketing and sales because they know that you are offering them an exact solution. So the first step is nailing the ideal client. Now, if you don't have a process for doing that, I have other resources, other videos that'll help you nail the ideal client. Just know that that is the first step. And if you are not really getting much traction in your sales and you haven't gone through this process, that might be the first thing that you diagnose. Make sure that you're speaking to a specific kind of person. Now, once you've got that done, you'll see that there are two paths down this chart. The left side, which is marketing, and the right side, which is business development. And I'm going to take you through each one of those, and then at the bottom, tell you what to do with the output of those. And it's going to show you how those two kinds of activities can generate customers that come up for sales, and then how to analyze those sales and how to fix your marketing if it's not working. Let's start with marketing because it's kind of the fun stuff, at least for me. Marketing is about getting your audience engaged. It's getting them engaged in a result that's going to help them. So in the marketing bucket, we've got three sub buckets. We've got publish, promote, and presence. And you'll see all kinds of things in here like social media and email and blog and articles, etc. Don't get overwhelmed. I'm not telling you right now you have to do all of these. I am telling you now that all of these, once you get to a certain size, like 10 million, 15 million, 20 million in revenue, you're going to be doing all of these. But if you haven't gotten to that stage yet, then perhaps you need to focus only on some of them. And if you're just starting out, just focus on one that you think that you can get really good at. Don't try to boil the ocean and do everything and become an expert in every kind of marketing. Just pick one that you feel that you can focus on and work on that. But regardless of where you are on the journey from one to all of these, the goal of marketing is to get the audience engaged and give them a specific offer that they can buy. Now, if you're in the B2C realm, that offer might be simply sending them to a website where they can buy something. If you're selling something higher ticket, maybe they need to have a conversation with a sales rep. Regardless, that's going into your opportunity pipeline. That is, people who have made an expression of interest in the sale. They've booked an appointment or they've added something to their cart. Either way, you are tracking that as a pipeline. Now, in a larger organization, that pipeline might be in a CRM. If you are in an e-commerce situation, that might be your retargeting pool of the people who have added it to the cart so that you're going to email them or do more paid media to get them back to the site. Regardless, that's a pipeline. These are people who have raised their hand from your marketing and said, I'm interested in more. And then you spend other resources to pursue those and close them. And you need to track those as a pipeline, whether it's the number of people adding things to a cart or the number of people booking an appointment. That is the thing that you're tracking in your sales pipeline. Okay. And then on a monthly basis, you're going to review that pipeline. And I'll talk about that review process in a little bit after I go through the other side, which is business development. So on the marketing side, we've talked about getting the audience interested and you're putting things out into the world, or whether that is organically or paid media. On the right side, we have something that's very different. It's business development. Business development is a whole nother realm in which you can get prospective customers to engage with you. So you'll see two boxes in there, one-to-many activities and one-to-one activities. One-to-many activities are things like speaking engagements and seminars and hosting events and running webinars, things where one, that's you, the one, talk to many prospects at once. One-to-one activities are primarily things like networking. So that's the business development bucket. But before we get there, we see there's an arrow coming into it, and that's research and filtering. So what we don't do is run around around the world and just randomly stuff people in a room and try to speak to them, or randomly get them on a webinar, try to speak to them, or network with everybody. That's untargeted, and that's going to be a waste of your time. The first thing you do is research and filter. You're very careful and you're very intentional based on your ideal client of getting the right people in the audience. You use your sniper rifle and you go and you just look for those prospects and you just look for those referral partners. And that's what you use as your list to have those one-to-many activities and the one-to-one activities. So from those activities, whether it's referrals from your network, whether it is people coming out of a speaking engagement and asking you for more, coming out of a seminar and asking you for more information, again, flows into the opportunity pipeline and your sales pipeline. You will close some of those, and that is the two sides of this diagram which flow into your pipeline. So your pipeline now, as I said before, are the people who have expressed interest and you can try to close in a sales environment. Now, what happens at the end of the month? You see monthly metrics at the bottom? That's what happens. You actually look at what worked and what didn't work. You track what are the revenue characteristics of each one of these. I spent this much on marketing, whether it's in terms of time or in terms of money. I got this many leads and I got this many customers. And I do the same with business development. I spent this much time, this much money, how many leads, how many customers. And that lets you get smarter, because here's the little trick about this entire diagram. It's those arrows that are going back up to the top, because very often people get stuck in thinking that their marketing and their sales are static, that they're just going to do one thing again and again, when in actuality, it is a system. And what we do with these monthly metrics is we decide, how can we get better? Maybe we'll look at our email marketing and we'll say, I emailed this many prospects or this many potential customers, and I got this many responses that led to this many leads, that led to this many appointments, led to this many sales. And what if some of those numbers weren't working out well? Well, now I can go back and use that arrow on the left side that says adjust activities, and I can adjust what I'm doing to do better next time. Let's say that I did a seminar, and from the seminar, I got a lot of people in the room, did a great job there, but not a lot of them asked for a next conversation. So maybe my follow-up rate from that was not good. So I need to think, well, do I need to change my presentation in some way? That's the adjust activities loop that comes up on the right side. This here is the key. This is the most important thing about how you think about marketing and sales. The people who look at their marketing and sales as a dynamic system that they learn from every month will improve much, much faster. So that's what the monthly metrics are. So let's look at a couple of the other arrows, which are really important for helping you refine this process. And that is the first arrow in the middle, marketing surfaces prospects. So as you're doing your marketing, certain people will be replying and taking actions, opening your emails, all of those things. That will inform your research and filtering. We talked about the research and filtering being who are the people I should be talking to when I'm doing business development. Your marketing will surface those people. So use that information to feed into the business development side of the house. Your research in the research and filtering will inform your marketing. You might have valuable insights from the lists that you're making in the research and filtering stage, which could be used in your marketing. So that's the arrow in the other direction. So as you can see, you're getting smarter the more you do this. This is why this is a system that gets better and better over time. And then the last arrow in the middle goes from the one-to-many activities of business development into marketing. This is a really important one. And this is something that you need to be thinking about if you're doing any kind of one-to-many activity. If you're doing a webinar, if you're doing a presentation, even if it's in front of 5 people, make sure you're capturing it and recording it. Because when you record it, that one-time effort where you might have spoken to a handful of people could be used in marketing in order to reach thousands and thousands of people. It can be an asset that you put on YouTube, and for years to come, it could drive you opportunity. So make sure that you are using those recordings as marketing assets. And that's how those two pieces link together there. So in this video, I've gone through all of the steps that you need to think about in creating a system that learns and a system that gets better and better and better. So if you're doing this and you're just getting 5% better every month, you are going to substantially increase your sales through this marketing and sales process. So don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to include a link to where you can get a copy of this chart so that you don't have to scribble it down furiously. And if you have any questions, reach out, ask. I'm happy to tell you more about how this works and how all of these pieces fit together.